E-Man here with BB Blaster Mark III, take two. I started take one and the wife got home with groceries, so I found myself seconded to offloading duties. Anyway, just a super quick recap of the three marks of BB Blaster. This one, insane rate of fire, ludicrous rate of fire, ridiculous rate of fire. Ridiculous rate of fire, in my opinion, is just fine. Remember, my goals were to figure out a BB blaster that would, number one, fire all the BBs without shaking, be simple in design, and have decent performance. And this one, I accomplished all my goals. Mark II was an overachiever, way too high a mass of BBs versus the air. So I had to lean the mixture out. And so I had to redesign my baffle, place them closer together to get a leaner mix of BBs versus air delivery. And that worked really good. The rate of fire did come down somewhat. Not a bad thing. As the mass of BBs goes down, the velocity goes up. And so performance actually improved. Now instead of 4 or 5 BBs in the barrel at any given moment, like in this one probably had 7 BBs in the barrel at any given moment. And the Mark III has, when I was doing burst fire and let off the air, I'd get 1, maybe 2 BBs roll out of the barrel. So that's good. Velocity was up. That was good. The BBs fire all the way down to the last one, although that didn't quite, now that the problem is solved, of course, it brings up other issues, but it's not a bad one. So the way it ended up working out is when you're down to the last half a dozen or less BBs, they really, because the mass is so light, they really get whizzing around inside here so fast, and I'm lowballing here. I'm going to say they're going at least 20,000 orbits a minute inside this cyclone. And they have a tendency to skip over the feed port, the breech port. So they would fire without shaking. I had to pulse the air a little bit, but they eventually all fired, and life is good. And that only happened, like I say, down in the last half a dozen or less BBs. You can hear them whizzing around in here. It sounds like a dental drill, but so that's interesting. One other thing that was kind of it makes sense. It's just laws of physics, right? So as the supply of BBs goes down and you have less BBs available to be fired, it's just like anything else, any other machine that's being fed fuel. It sputters before it dies. So it does do that a little bit toward the end. It fires just fine till you're almost out of BBs, and then it sputters a little bit, and then you get the last couple in there that can't seem to find the exit. But they do find it eventually. You just got to pulse the air. Anyway, that's and these, of course, are templates. Templates are always handy if you're going to do multiples of anything, so that they all turn out the same. This one here is for the 2 baffles that are inside, and those 2 baffles are spaced not much farther apart than the breech port is wide. And then this is, of course, the template for the closure, the end closure plates. So good design, simple. That's what I wanted. It's very simple. One other thing I would say that I kind of learned, I was afraid of at first, but now not so much. And that is, I went with a 3/16 feed for the air because I wanted to make sure, smaller area of the bore would cause the air to have to increase in velocity for a given pressure. And I was worried that it would be hard to get those BBs. That's a pretty big circle in there. So I wasn't sure I'd have the air going fast enough to get the BBs spinning in there. That turned out to really not be a problem. So in the future, and this simplifies things to the degree that, you know, you only need one size of brake tubing. And and plus with a larger bore, the area goes up, and so now you may lose a bit of velocity for the air when it comes in the inlet, but you're going to gain in volume, which is going to give you more mass of air to get the BBs moving at a faster velocity. And so I really believe that you're not going to hurt yourself by going with 1/4 inch on the inlet. That's what I plan on doing, and I really highly suspect that performance will actually be better. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. I think I got what I want. You know, I wanted something that's so simple I could, if I wanted to, make you know, 3 or 4 at a time, and not have it be too complicated. So that's pretty much what I ended up with. I'm happy with it, and we'll see where it goes from there. Thanks for watching. See ya.